Eric, thanks for accepting my reply on my original channel of my Questioning Presuppositional series. I was a bit surprised that my first video on my original channel was accepted as a reply to a video on the Creation Today channel. But since then, none of my videos have been accepted, including my repost to this channel in regards to your presuppositional argument. I seldomly swear in my videos, so I thought maybe you accepted my video because of that. I was honored to get a reply from Creation Today, and I'm going to be replying to that video here. I'll be taking down the video on my other channels today. The problem is, I'm not sure that Creation Today would repost to my new version of that video. See, I am not convinced that Creation Today is a completely honest channel. Let's read what the Creation Today reply was to my original video. I found it very interesting. Creation Today. Actually, people knew tons about science back in 500 BC, but I will assume that I was an individual who knew nothing about science back then. I reply, I think you missed my point. I was trying to point out that the use of God is a convenient answer that cheats the question. If we just accept Poseidon, we would never have found the real answer, the moon's gravitational pull causing the waves to rise. But having said that, I'd like to explore some thought, and I'll have a challenge for you, Eric, and Cy at the end of the video, Creation Today. Furthermore, I would have to assume that I have no previous knowledge, tainted or otherwise, of the true God of the Bible, considering all people, groups, and civilizations then know its family and therefore have a direct connection to its truth. Now, as a clean slate, I will consider you as follows. Me. You do realize I just placed you on neutral ground, Eric. Creation Today. Tell me of your God Poseidon, and show me his holy writing. Let me speak to his followers. By doing these things, I will learn the identity of this God character, compare him to the evidence of science, nature, morality, logic, and reason. By doing the research and putting this God to the test, I will find the truth about this matter, and the truth is, Poseidon is not an acceptable match for the truth of reality. Therefore, he is a false god and should not be feared. Wow. Is that really the answer you're going with? Really? It almost seems like you're putting God on trial. But wait, you did say test, and the test you have chosen is if the scriptures meet the requirements of science, nature, morality, logic, and reason. Well, let's go to the temple and find out how they account for it. Let's ask the priestess, see how she answers your questions. I ask, excuse me, my friend here would like to know how you account for science, nature, morality, logic, and reason. To which the priestess answers, well, science is the domain of the goddess Hermes. Nature is governed by Artemis, and in the beginning by Gaia. Moral laws are governed by Zeus himself. But it all started with Anakin, the goddess of necessity. She is the primary source of all nature, logic, and reason. Now, of course, we could look at the scriptures like you suggested here. And I'm sure you would point out errors like windows in heaven and the earth being seated on pillars, the idea that the earth is unmovable. But I'm sure a sufficiently skilled apologist could fit these scriptures to observed reality. Let's go back to being people of the 21st century. I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to have to place the same test to your God as you place on the Greek gods. I've looked over the Proof of God website, and the proof they offer is that the Bible claims to represent these factors of reality, but so do all religions. But I have yet to see one that's consistent with reality. But that is where apologetics come into play, isn't it? Your job is to propose answers, no matter how ridiculous they are. Your given profession is due to the fact that reality does not speak to the truth of your scripture. You have proposed extremely silly ideas to make the fantasies of the Bible fit reality, like vapor canopies, geological movements that would destroy all life on Earth.
Before you can claim the Bible fits reality, you must show it to be true, or I'll assume it's a fantasy just like the Greek gods. Anyways, on to my challenge. In your presuppositional arguments, you present many questions. In part 1, I didn't say it was bad to ask questions. I merely suggested you don't have the bravery to follow through on fully understanding the question. You just use your God to fill in the answers. I want to address these questions in my next video. So I would ask that Eric and Sai make a video in which you ask all the questions you tend to ask people, and I'll address these questions in my next video in this series. If you don't, I'll just have to look through your library to find the questions. I know some questions are connected. Please include the full chain of questions. Just save me the research time. I'd also appreciate it if you could acknowledge that I will need to use your video in my reply to your questions. Well, I appreciate you watching my video. Hope you guys have a great day.